So we will do today
Mm,
connecting means up to last class we learn how to do things in PHP using PHP. Then in last
mm,
class we also discussed about MySQL. What is MySQL?
mm,
MySQL is a RDBMS. Okay, just like
mm,
we did Oracle in last semester.
mm.
Okay, so MySQL is
It's a
another
query language.
yeah, it's a database management system. Okay,
Okay.
so to run MySQL, what you can do, you can install MySQL separately into your computer. Okay,
Mm,
along with um, Apache Tomcat. Okay,
mm.
separately. You install Apache
Okay.
Tomcat, you install MySQL separately. Then
Mm,
you design or develop the website and hosted that thing in your
mm,
Apache Tomcat server. Okay,
mm.
and you create your database in MySQL and then try to connect those two things together to form the application. Or
Okay.
you can install the a consolidated environment which will give you many things into one single piece of software that is called XAMPP.
Example.
Okay, or you
Mm,
can use WAMP, 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 or you can use XAMPP. So here we have used XAMPP. Okay,
mm,
so first let me run the XAMPP control
mm.
panel. Okay, since we are going to use the, see here there are many
Database.
things. Apache, this is the web server. MySQL,
Mm-hmm.
this is the database. Okay, then there are
Mm,
many things. Okay, we do not require these
mm,
things, but we have to run these services Apache and MySQL. Okay, so
mm,
just click the start button beside that.
mm,
Okay, if these things are not running, means
mm,
this level will become green. Okay,
mm.
see here, this level will become green. Okay, like that.
Correct.
Okay, that means your
Mm,
Apache and MySQL are ready for service. Okay, these two
mm.
things you can do from the folder, means where the
Mm-hmm.
XAMPP is loaded, you have to move to
Loaded.
that folder. So currently we have our XAMPP folder in which drive? C drive maybe. No,
Mm.
it is not in C drive.
Actually, D drive.
D drive, it
We
is in E
the other
drive.
day,
It is in E drive.
I remember.
Yeah,
C drive you don't install, you say.
yeah. So XAMPP is here. So inside XAMPP, you will get this thing, XAMPP start. Okay, the XAMPP has
Mm,
already been started. That's why we are getting this control panel. If you click on this XAMPP control, then you will get this control panel. Okay, we do not need those two things. What we need to run the Apache, see here, there is a batch file. Okay,
mm,
or you can say the application. You can double click
mm-hmm.
it and the respective XAMPP will Apache 2 is
Is
starting.
starting.
See here,
Oh, oh.
okay, it has been started, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once this is started, you can remove that window. Okay, let's see
Mm,
here. When you cross that window, the Apache goes down. Okay, it stops.
okay.
So you have to keep
Mm-hmm.
the window open. Just
Mm,
minimize the window.
mm,
Apache has been started. Now, how to run the MySQL part? See, this is the MySQL batch file. So MySQL start. Double click.
mm.
Okay, so you will get.
That is also running. Can minimize and keep.
Why I am showing this, because in some computers from this control panel, once you click these buttons, the services are
Mm,
not going to run. Okay, maybe some problems inside the computer.
okay. Mm-hmm.
For them, they can use in this way. Okay, to
Mm,
run the services. Okay, fine.
mm,
Next, what we will do? we know we have to go inside the htdocs folder, that is our root. Okay, and inside htdoc we have our web tech classes like that. Okay,
Mm.
so we will do database part here. So we are going to create another folder, say db will be our folder. Inside that db we will store our files. Got it?
Okay. Mm.
So what will be our base url, means the url we have to run
It is
localhost slash
localhost
webtech
webtech
slash db.
slash deep.
So that will be our base. So
Mm.
whatever file we will write, that will come after this part. Okay. See
Mm.
here. So that will be our root. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now let me create a paint. What is our plan? See, uh, if you are interested to do project in PHP, and
Mm.
obviously you must know how to handle the database. Okay, and
Mm.
this class is going to be an important one for you. Okay, because
Okay.
no project can be written,
Mm.
a good project, okay, a moderate good project, without database handling. Okay, dynamic
Okay.
websites or dynamic web applications are required. At least you cannot write a simple website, some html and css as a project in your mca course. Okay,
MCA
so
course.
that will
Mm.
not give much value to your course. Okay, so you must do at least a good weighted project,
Project.
dynamic website, dynamic web application. Okay, dynamic web
Okay.
application means there will be a data section. That data section
Mm.
will be managed by any of the databases. It's not required that you will
Mm-hmm.
use MySQL. You can use Oracle. You can use any other databases. Okay, but it is
Mm.
uh, more logical to use the MySQL, since the MySQL is also a part of your course. Okay, so PHP
Okay.
along with MySQL also runs
Still.
very well. Okay, they are made
Okay.
for each other, something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, there is a concept that PHP is good with MySQL, Java
Okay.
is good with Oracle, .NET
Oracle.
is good with MS SQL. So these are all made for each other like things. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so PHP is always good with MySQL, and
MySQL.
MySQL is a very popular, very good open source. Not open source, is a free license, means free database management
Mm.
system, and it has many credibility in market. Many big companies use MySQL as their backend databases. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
MySQL is a very important one to know.
Powerful.
Okay,
Okay.
so our plan is to create an web application. See, this is your web
Mm.
application, means an web page.
Mm.
You can say it's a
Mm.
web page. Okay, and there will be a database in MySQL. Okay, and we
Mm.
know a database consists of many tables in it. Like we
Mm.
know. Okay, these
Mm.
things from our last semester classes. Okay, so
Classes.
if this is a database, okay,
Mm.
usually database signer, this is a symbol of database. Okay, a cylinder. Okay,
Mm.
so
Mm.
inside that database, okay, we will
Mm.
create one database, and inside that database we will have some tables,
Tables.
and there will be some data. So our first
Mm.
job, what is our first job?
Mm.
Our first job will be to connect to this database from this page.
Mm.
So this will be our first job. Connect.
Mm.
See, see, this is a web page. Okay,
Mm.
this web page is run. Okay, is under
Mm.
run in where, which application will run this web page? Google Chrome. Many,
Go.
it's a web
Any
browser.
browser.
Any browser.
Any web browser.
Okay,
Mm.
and what is your MySQL? MySQL is another software. Okay, it
Mm.
is another software. It's just like that.
Mm.
You are sitting at Bangalore, I am sitting at Kolkata. Okay, we want
Mm.
to share something between us, so we first of all
Mm.
we have to make a connection.
Connect. Mm.
Okay, either you have to call me, okay, or you have
Mm.
to send me messages, okay,
Mm.
something. So that is
Yes.
called a connection. So for
Mm.
any kind of transaction to make, first thing is to connect. So this web page need to connect. That means
Connect to
from
database. Mm.
a web browser, this
Mm.
application, this is my SQL.
Mm.
So this should be connected. Okay.
Mm.
Now this connection, how to connect it? Okay, that we will
Mm.
discuss later. So you got understand that connection is needed.
Yes.
Okay, so
No,
first
no, no.
operation will be our connect. Okay,
Connection.
so
Mm.
connect the page with the database. And
Mm.
this is not for, not only for MySQL, it is for every any technology. Okay,
Database. Any
means
technology.
if you are using PHP and MySQL, if you are using PHP and Oracle, if you are using PHP and MS SQL, if you use Java
Not
or
that.
MySQL, everywhere it is required. First
It
thing
is.
is to connect. Okay.
Mm.
Now, once the connection has been established, then what you have to do? You have a few things, okay, to do.
Mm.
First, we can mm,
Send a request.
create some
Mm.
data.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
create some data in this
Mm.
database. Okay,
Mm.
then we can. Sorry, this will be reverse. Then we can read those data
Mm.
from the database.
Mm.
Maybe we can update some data,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
And also delete some data from.
Mm.
So these are
Mm.
the operations that we usually perform with a database from
Mm.
an web page. Okay,
Mm.
and these operations are something in our terminology. It is called as CRUD,
Word operation.
CRUD operation.
Word
Create,
operation.
read, update, delete, something like that. Okay. So
Mm.
create means basically you are trying to insert the data. You are
Mm.
inserting data. Read means you are selecting the data back from the database.
Mm.
U means update. You are updating the records. D is delete, right?
Mm.
Okay. So these are the things we will do. Okay. We will see how
Mm.
to insert data, how to read data, and
Updated.
I have joined last class and last Sunday. Last Sunday,
Okay.
there the faculty or sir was showing how to
Mm.
do all these sorts of things. Since we did not do any classes for last 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
so we will do it today. Okay, but
Mm.
I followed that in that class. He was going with an approach uh,
Mm.
with some methods of
Mm.
doing these operations. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
those methods are not used nowadays because PHP and MySQL both have some versions. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
MySQLs both have some versions. Okay,
Mm.
so in latest version, maybe it is PHP 8 or something. MySQL is something 5 points. Now, what is the latest version of MySQL? You can search it and see.
Mm.
So in those version, at least
Mm.
in today's time, PHP
Mm.
version 7 is minimum requirement,
Mm-hmm.
and there you are not going to use those methods of insertion and deletion for CRUD operation. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so but as far as our exam is concerned, those operations are fine. There will be no problem, and that has been asked in the class too. Okay, and he said that
Mm.
anyone use any operation. Okay, either it is
Mm.
for any version. If it is okay,
Mm.
okay,
Mm.
so you will get marks. There is no problem. Okay, So
Okay. So
in
that
that,
part they cleared it.
yeah, those operations are now obsolete, means they are deprecated. The term deprecated
Oh.
is important. Deprecated means what?
Mm.
That means
Yes, no
that,
more use. It doesn't
yeah,
exist
they are
now.
suggesting that do not use these functions, although these are not obsolete at all. Okay, we cannot say these functions are obsolete, but soon they will be obsolete. So it is better to avoid this function and use those functions. Okay. uh, so it is better to use the advanced version, or
Mm.
the version
PHP.
that is used nowadays. We will learn
Mm.
in this class. Okay. And for those version, the older version that you can get
Mm.
from that last
SLM
lesson,
or PPT.
and
Mm.
he was showing nicely. Okay, no problem. So it's a simple thing, so you can get an idea from that class. So in our class we will learn the advanced version, or you can say the current version of Crado version. Okay.
PHP. Cloud application. Okay.
Okay, just I am clarifying that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's move for some demonstration. Okay, just open the VS Code. We are writing code using VS Code.
Mm.
Those are all Python codes. Close folder. Okay. So I am just adding this folder, this DB folder.
Mm.
So what we will do, we have to have a database first, na?
Mm.
So just create a database. You remember this?
Last time we created in my PHP my admin
We
one table
created.
we had created.
Okay,
Ah,
just open it. How to open the PHP MyAdmin console? Just type
go to
localhost. If you
localhost.
have a XAMPP this version
Mm.
loaded onto your
Mm.
computer, or maybe
Mm.
some older version too. Okay, you will get this kind of interface. Otherwise, you will get some other type of interface. Currently, in my laptop, I have this latest version. Okay, so this is the GUI
Mm.
dashboard for MySQL. Okay, if you install MySQL separately, you will get a blank, means that command prompt like screen, that CUI. Okay, so there you have to
Yes.
write the commands, but when you are using the XAMPP or WAMP, you are going to get this kind of GUI environment to handle the database. Okay, and this is convenient. So SMSDB, which one we used so far? Which database we
I think
created?
we did the test one.
Taste one. Okay, fine. So we can take more significant database. Okay, so it is better. So I am creating one database, say student. Is the most
Mm.
convenient way to take a database name for student. Okay, student, student. So creating a database.
Create database.
Okay, so this is the student database. The database has been created. Okay, so when you click on database link, so you will get the content of the database here. So this is the database.
Yes.
Okay, so what the database consists of several tables. So since we
Tables.
do not
Table name
create
should be
any
given.
table, so it is not showing anything. Okay, so let's create a
Mm.
first table. So in student database there should be a student database. Okay, just do one thing. I should not give the name student like that. So student
School
will be a, okay. So
uh,
just
rename.
we can drop this. Student database.
Drop table is beginning only. The drop option.
Drop, right? I'm just searching those things. Okay. So in database, I'm going to create, say, school.
Mm.
School. That will be better. So inside school, I'm going to have a table,
Student.
say, student. And inside student, I'm going to have a few columns, say, four columns are there. So create the four
Mm.
columns. So this is the way how you have to create the four columns. You can always create a table using create table command. This is the area from where you can create a table. We have discussed it
Mm.
in our last
Yes, we
class.
have done it.
So
Yes.
first I am giving a role,
Mm. Data type
and it will
is.
be a name,
Mm.
say it will be city, and it will be, say, class. Okay. So city and class. Fine. So this column, the second column is for the data types
Data
of
type.
each individual. So here we have integer type of data. Okay,
Mm.
means numeric type of data. See, this is the category numeric type of data. These much are these
The
variables are
different
of numeric type.
variations.
Okay, so usually
Mm.
we do integer. Means roll number will be
Integer.
our integer type of data. Obviously,
Mm.
name,
Name
it
is
will be
varchar.
varchar. Okay, and we have to give a length of the varchar.
Mm.
So we can give any
Mm.
length. So say 100, and
Mm.
city again I'm keeping it
Varchar.
as varchar, again I'm giving 100, and class we are taking it as integer. Okay, so for integer we do
Mm.
not have to give any value. Okay,
Okay.
now see here, there is a button called save. Okay, so if
Mm.
you click save button, the table will be created. See here,
Create.
see inside the database you have one table now. Okay, suppose
Mm.
you want to create another table, say teacher.
Mm.
So for teacher, I'm taking this one, say teacher ID,
Mm. TID.
TID, and teacher name, name will
Mm.
be there,
Key name.
TCT will be there, and teacher is of experience, say EXP.
Mm.
Okay, so name will be of varchar and
Varchar.
CT will be of varchar.
Value.
Both I am giving 100 length. Okay,
100. Mm.
so I'm just
Create.
creating this
Or
table to show
saving.
you
Mm.
that how when you click on
Multiple
database,
table can
how
be
it will look
created.
like. So these are the content of this database. These
Mm.
contents are the tables, respective tables. Okay, now if
Mm.
you want to go inside a table particular, say student table, you click
Click
on
on
this
that
one.
name.
See, this is the area where you will find the data. Okay,
Mm.
records as a table. Okay, but if you want to see
Now
the
we.
structure, then you have to click on this icon, this tab, the
Mm.
structure. Okay, so inside structure you are getting, this is the data structure of the table. Okay, or you can
Mm.
say the metadata of the table. Okay, so
Mm.
here you are having these columns. Now among these columns, I am taking role as my primary key. You know, we
Mm.
should have a primary key for our for
Mm.
a table,
Table.
right? Okay. So how to create a primary key? Just click on the checkbox
Primary key of
and click primary key
primary.
from here. This is the primary key.
Mm.
Okay. So just
Mm.
click on that and it is become primary key. This icon of key will be there just beside
Mm.
role. Okay. So now our table has been set. So the next thing I would like to mention that every database, okay,
Mm.
should have some username and password. Okay,
Mm.
means who will use. See here, the database is a concept like that. See, this is a database.
Mm.
Okay, means means database management software.
Mm.
See, this is a DB software. Okay, just like
Mm.
MySQL. Okay, so
Mm.
inside that you will have many databases. Okay,
Mm.
some databases are bigger, some databases are smaller, some databases are important, very
Mm.
important, something like that. Okay, Say this is your
Mm.
database 1, this is a database 2, and you have multiple clients with you. Okay,
Mm.
so every client is not liable to access others data,
I,
right?
I, yes,
So if you have this client, so he should access this
only
database
this
only.
database.
He should not access this database. Okay,
Mm.
because this database is made for this client. Okay,
Mm.
so how to restrict the other users from accessing those databases? That is by using
Creating
username
accounts.
and password.
Mm.
Okay, got it?
Mm.
Okay. Mm, Now, one more thing will come into our discussion, that is called host name.
Mm.
Now, what is host name? Host name is basically the name of the machine, the name of the
Mm.
CPU, means the computer.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Why? Because suppose this is one computer. Okay.
Mm.
Your application is running on this computer and your database is stored in some other computer, right?
Mm.
Here is your database. Are you getting the thing?
Mm.
So your web application need to connect to this database. For that
Mm.
purpose, you have to know the address of this computer,
Correct.
whether it is a URL or whether it is the IP address. Okay.
Mm.
So that name is your host name, means where the database is actually hosted. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that is called host name. And in this case, we have only single machine. Okay. Inside that
Mm.
we have application and we have database on the same machine. But our host is, in this case, our host is localhost. That's why we are calling localhost. Okay.
Mm.
Means the same machine
Has both server
has,
and
the same
database
machine
and
has
server.
both the database and the application. Okay.
Mm.
You can also find it here. See here the server 127.0.0.1. Okay. So
Mm.
this is the address, IP address for local computer.
Mm.
127.0.0.1. So suppose if you run 127.0.0.1, then what you will
Mm.
get? You will get the same thing.
Done.
Got it?
Okay.
See here, what is the name? 0/dashboard, na? And
Ah,
here what you got when we write localhost. Here, localhost/dashboard.
localhost slash dashboard.
So your localhost means your local machine. Okay, got it?
Mm.
Okay. And usually the port number for this MySQL is 3306. Somewhere it is written, maybe here. See here, this is the PHP version, PHP 8.1.
Mm.
This will not accept those
Other older
older
version of card operation.
older version. Okay. So 3306 is the default port number for this MySQL database. Anyway,
Mm.
go into our school database.
Mm.
See here, every database I told you, there will be a host name. Okay.
Mm.
And there will be a username and password. So how to set the username and password for this database? So you have to set a username and password for each and every database. It is recommended. Otherwise, everyone will use the default database username and password. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Means if you keep your school database in this way, okay,
Mm.
so any other application that is hosted on the same machine can access your data. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you go here. This is privilege. See here, after coming inside the school database, you have to go inside
Mm.
the privilege. This is not
Privilege.
mandatory. Okay, if you do not
Mm.
provide the username and password, it will take the default one. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
if you use the default username and password for your web application, what will happen? Every other can access your data. Okay, to so
Mm-hmm.
to, to secure your database, okay, you must
Mm-hmm.
use a username and password. See here, just create a new. See here, this is the new. add user account. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this user account will ensure that the user means who can use our database. Okay,
Mm.
so we are giving some user name. Say I am giving SASHI.
It is privilege, na? My privilege.
Obviously, privilege. You are setting the privilege for your database. Okay,
Mm.
so you are giving the username. Give any username, and see here. This is the host name. Okay, you have to select the host name.
Mm.
See localhost. Okay, so you are
Mm.
selecting localhost since we are in the same computer.
Is a
The
same
application,
computer.
the database will be in the same
Mm.
computer. But if you have some other computer, okay,
Mm.
then what you will do? Then you have to write the respective IP address
Compute IP address.
here. Okay, and if
Mm.
you sometimes you can select any host, so you have to give the percent so that computer can identify by itself. Okay, if it can.
Okay.
So it is better to use the localhost when you know that your database and application will be reside on the same
Same
computer.
server, same
Okay,
computer. Mm.
after that you have to give the password. Okay, so password I am just giving 1 2 3 4 5 6.
Mm.
Extremely weak, it is saying extremely weak. Okay, no problem. If it can allow us to save, we will go with it. Okay, so this is the way how we can set a user. Okay,
User.
user credential. Okay, later I
Mm.
will show you. See here, password, we can set password many ways. Okay, is a text field?
Mm.
No. Okay, so these are the credential of the user. Now you have to set the privilege. See here, these are the privileges. Okay, these are the privileges that you can set for this particular user. Suppose I
Mm-hmm.
want to
What
give
could be
this
given? Access.
user
Mm-hmm.
to access everything, so you just click this one,
Check
check all.
all. Mm.
So everything she will get, this user will get.
Mm-hmm.
But I can take this thing out, something like that. It means that
Mm-hmm.
this user cannot drop the structure, means drop the table. This user cannot use the delete command, means
Mm-hmm.
CRUD operation. She
Mm-hmm.
The user cannot use the delete command. Okay, means he is not eligible to delete the,
Permitted to delete any record.
yeah, this particular user. Okay,
Mm.
but currently I am giving all privilege. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this much you have to set, and this is very important. Okay, I think
Mm-hmm.
this was missed from the live class. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
you have to know, okay, how to set the privilege, how to set the username, okay, user account, and assign the user for that particular database. You can assign same
The
user
role.
for some other
Mm-hmm.
database too. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so after doing all these things you have to click the go. See, it is giving me that you have added a new user. Okay, now
Mm-hmm.
when you again go inside the privilege tab, say database user account, see here, just search Shashi. Has this one is the host name. Okay, all
Mm-hmm.
privileges. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and if you go inside, then you can see that
All the.
Shashi is been given a
Mm.
privilege in local host machine. Okay,
Mm.
got it?
Okay.
So what is the database? Database is school, right?
School.
You are getting that.
Yes.
For school
Mm.
database, this user
Account.
is assigned. Okay,
Okay.
okay, now we all done with our database. Okay, now we have to move
Mm-hmm.
into our programming part. PHP, we have to connect, we have to write the code to connect to this database using that username and
Mm.
password we created. Okay,
Okay.
after connection is established, we have to insert data, we have to delete data, we have to select data. These are the card operation. Okay, so
Okay.
let's move into the code.
Okay.
Okay, we are recording this. Okay, Okay. How much water you drink in 24 hours? मीन्स दिन में आप वाटर
Hmm.
कितना इंटेक करते हो?
2 liters maximum.
No, it is important.
54 liters.
See, in India, what we do means this medical suffering
Hmm.
for the common people are
Hmm.
under a research that has been uh, it is clearly shown out that in India or in subcontinent, you can say, the
Hmm.
most of the medical issues that is caused to us due to of unawareness.
Intake.
No,
Hmm.
unawareness of some common medical
Facts.
things or some things that we should know. Okay, and if we do practice, okay, only if we know we can avoid 50% of our diseases. Okay, but unfortunately in our school or in colleges never there is any lesson to know these common things that we should know. Okay, so it is required to know at least 3 to 4 liters of water is required, but as your age increase, okay,
Hmm.
you should not. And if someone has some heart diseases, okay, he
Hmm.
should not take plenty of water. Okay, he should have a limit,
Hmm.
because taking unlimited water can raise your blood pressure, and
Hmm.
taking uh, little amount of water, inadequate amount of water will
Hmm.
put your means some other problems. Okay, or taking more water will put pressure on your kidneys. So you have to have a measure, means little bit of things awareness. Okay, let's create a file first. So what we will do, we will insert some data, na?
Hmm.
Insert dot php, or rather we can say like that, save dot php.
Hmm.
Okay, what this file will do, save save new record dot php. Okay, so this will be a PHP file that is going
Hmm.
to save the record into the database.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now what record? What type of record? The record will be inserted by the user, right?
Hmm.
Means what? We are thinking of a web application, na? Means a web
Correct.
page will be there.
Web page.
Inside that web page, okay, we will have a form like that. Okay, say
Hmm.
this will be your roll number, this will be your name,
Name,
and this will be your
class,
city,
city, and class.
and this will be your class, something like that. And after that you will have some button. Okay, save
Submit.
button or submit button, reset button, something like that. Okay, so when
Hmm.
you click the submit button, these all data, okay, will be transferred to a file that we have written, that we are writing just now. Say save, क्या लिखा मैंने?
Save
Save
new
new record.
record.
Okay, save new record.php. This file I am writing. Got it?
Okay.
Now what I am doing, I am just not interested to design this page. Okay, that you can easily do. Okay, and you also know how to send this data to this file. You know that, na?
Mm.
Tell me
Yes.
how you can
Get and
send this
post.
data to using get
Get and post.
or
And
post,
post.
and how to receive those data here.
Get method.
Dollar underscore, this is a global array,
Uh,
okay, get, okay,
mm.
or
Mm.
dollar underscore post.
OST post.
So using these two array, okay, these are
Mm.
two global arrays, super global array you can say.
Mm.
So using means sorry, if your form is method is your form method is get, so you will get all these data in this array. If your
Mm.
form method is post, so you will get this data in this array, okay.
Yes.
So in this file, these all data will be manipulated,
Store. Mm. Okay.
not stored. This file will
Manipulated.
this file will help to store this data. Actually the data will be stored in the database, the student
Mm-hmm.
table or teacher table, okay. This file will
Okay.
help to store the data in the
Mm-hmm.
database, okay. So this
Mm.
somehow this will become a intermediate file,
Mm.
okay. We can put the same code in this file too, but that I may show in some later class. We can
Mm.
use some ajax too, okay. So the
Mm-hmm.
ajax we will definitely do, but today we will do this kind of things, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so inside this file I have to write php tag, okay.
Mm.
We are assuming that we are getting those data in these variables. Say
Okay.
role is equal to 101, okay. I'm taking just
Mm.
arbitrary data here, okay.
Assumption. Mm.
And name will be your, say, Sachin.
Mm.
And what is the city?
City.
City will be Mumbai, and the class
Plus.
set 12, okay. So I'm
Mm.
assuming that these is the data. We get this data from those either of those two array, get
Mm.
array or post array, okay.
Posted.
Got
Okay.
it?
Yes.
Okay. Now what we will do, our first job is to connect to DB, okay.
Mm.
Connect to DB, we can connect a MySQL database from PHP using a function
Mm.
called MySQL connect. Connect to DB using MySQL underscore connect. This is the function.
Mm.
This is a function, okay. This
Okay.
is the function that was
It connects.
demonstrated in the live class, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, you can say, a deprecated function. I am going to
Okay.
use this function, MySQL I, okay.
Okay.
So MySQL underscore connect, if you want to know, it is already there in the live class and
Mm.
quite well demonstrated over there. So you can get it from
Mm.
there. I am showing using MySQL I connect,
Well,
okay.
I. Okay.
So inside MySQL I connect, you have to pass some arguments, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what arguments? MySQL I connect, within bracket you have to write
Mm.
first the server name,
Mm-hmm.
means the host name, okay.
Last name.
So what will be
Local
your host
host.
name?
Local host.
Local host. After that you have to give the username. So what username we
Mm.
have given?
Shashi.
Shashi. Then you have to give the password. What was the
Mm.
password?
1 2 3 4 5 6.
123456. Then you have to give the database name, okay. So what was our database name? School.
So teacher. Sorry, school.
School. Database name, not the table name.
Mm.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So this is the function that you have to call. So when this function is called, so
All the
one
parameters should
database
be given.
pool
Mm.
in the machine localhost is going to be connected if this username and password are
Is
set
matching.
as privileged user,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm.
And if this goes all success, then it will return the connection string, then it will
Mm-hmm.
return the connection object, sorry, connection object, and that connection
Mm-hmm.
object we have to store somewhere in some variable like
Mm.
that. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
can write con or you can write double con, so you can write
Mm.
cn. So these are the different name we prefer. I'm using just
Mm-hmm.
con. Got it?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If the connection is not succeeded, then this will return an error. Okay,
Okay.
and that thing we can
Mm.
means easily it will return 0. So we can trap this thing using if else, or you can do some exception handling. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm not going in that way to handle when what happen when we do not this mysql I connect do not able to connect the databases. I am not doing all those things, I'm just making it
Mm.
simple. Okay, so connection happen.
Mm.
Okay, now if connection happen, then this dollar con is going to
Getting the connection object.
connection object, going to get the connection object. Okay, and that's all. Nothing you have to do with the for connecting to a database.
Okay.
This is a very simple task. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but if you use mysql underscore connect, then this database name you do not have to pass. Okay, first thing.
Mm.
After that,
Mm-hmm.
what you have to do, you have to uh, call another function to specify the database name. Okay, so which
Mm-hmm.
database name in that server you have to connect. So we do not require that thing in mysqli. Next,
Okay.
what you have to do, you have to write the queries to
Mm.
insert data. Say we are going to insert data na?
Mm.
First we are going to insert data, after that we will do other things. Okay, so how
Mm.
to insert the data, you have to write the query, you have to design the query, and writing this query dynamically you have to learn.
Mm.
Okay, because
Okay.
you understand, we are going to get this data from the other page, so these
Mm.
data are going to come inside my database. Okay,
Mm.
so you have to use these variables name. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
just make it simple. Say I am taking a variable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, make it a simple qry. Okay,
Mm.
can you tell me the insert query? Do you remember? See,
Insert into
insert into
database name, table name. Sorry.
table name student. Inside student, you can give the name of the field, role,
Mm.
name, city, and
Mm. And
class.
class.
Then values. Okay, so
Mm.
take any value, take any arbitrary value.
Same 101.
Say 101. Since it is a numeric value, we should not use the quote.
Mm.
Then we have name Sachin. Since Sachin is a varchar or string, so you have to give
Mm.
within quote.
Quote,
Then
single
city.
quotes. Mm.
City is also varchar, so you have to give Mumbai. And we have the
Class is
class
integer, so we
like
can give 12 as it is.
like that. Na?
Mm.
So this is the syntax of inserting query. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, SSG, just wait for a minute. Okay,
Okay.
just a minute.